virus.
Welcome to Healthcare Sucks.
Almost 500 have died. Several cities in China are on lockdown, notably the city where the virus was first detected, Wuhan. Efforts are underway to test and treat patients there, but it seems that not all is going as smoothly as the Chinese government would have its people believe.
A conference centre converted to an enormous makeshift hospital, part of Wuhan's response to the flood of new infections. Chinese state television broadcast footage of recently completed hospitals with multitudes of doctors taking care of few patients. But secretly recorded videos from hospitals paint a very different picture.
Here you go, guys.
Containing the dead lying close to patients, even in waiting
Look
areas.
at that. That's what I'm talking about.
A journalist visited 4 hospitals in Wuhan.
People are not being informed about the real situation. State TV doesn't go where it hurts, but I think this needs to be seen.
The journalist found more body bags outside one hospital. Inside, he saw dying patients together in one room. He posted his videos online.
That's sad, guys.
Officials had him arrested, then released him after a public outcry.
That's the one I recorded.
In China, his online videos have been deleted.
Protesters gathered at the annual shareholder meeting of Siemens, where Europe's biggest
and with that, guys, I want to bring you some more serious stuff. We're going to take a look at some more. This next one is going to be very disturbing, so this is definitely PG-13 or something. I'm going to try to age restrict it like I did the one that's 18 or above now. So definitely, you probably do not want your kids watching this. When you watch this part, I'm going to turn it down because they've got music. I don't want to get a copyright on that. And this is straight out of video game or movie kind of thing. So here we go.
I have some footage to show you. I share this information not because I want to scare you, no, but...
And we have a right to share this under the right to share information and freedom of news. Also, this lady wants her stuff shared, so I'm sharing it. We're stopping the music just so that we don't get a copyright for that part of it. Crows circling. Crows, you know what that means, guys. D-E-A-T-H. Or apocalypse, like she said. The next part's coming up right now. This is the part I wanted you guys to see. Watch these people that are just packed out in back of the hospital type situation. And look at what they're doing. Look at their movements. See the shaky thing like I showed you in the other videos? The shaking. Not so much that, but the shaking. Let's watch the birds again, but watch the shaking. I'll try to stop it, and we'll take a look at this. And I want her to have the credit for this. She's up in the left corner. Go check her out. She deserves it. She did a really good job on this, guys. Here we go, about a second. And she did give permission to share these. So, look at this. Look at this. Packed. Out. These are hospital people. They're just laid on the ground out behind the hospital. And then there's, looks like student nurses, you know, like, I forgot what they call those, Candy King girls in America. Candy Stripe girls or something that help out the nurses. That's doctors. It looks like Candy Stripe girls over there. I don't know what they call them. If you know, let me know. And don't forget to go check it out. Witness for Mihasha, I believe. But it's in the left corner. Go check out her stuff. She tries really hard. She's had problems with her computer. Big kudos to the girl. She's doing a hell of a job, man, with what she's got. And she seems like she's got a big heart. So go check it out, man. It's another source. I'm going to see what else I can find for us.
Some results of the Iowa.
Oh, damn it. We don't want that.
But for people who have no symptoms, a mask itself will not necessarily protect them. Instead, she said there are other measures that need to be followed.
That's about the WHO situation.
From the Hubei province on Wednesday, and this brings the total number of coronavirus deaths to 490. And what's more concerning is that other countries are reporting more coronavirus cases as well. Our Kim Mo-gyun has the latest.
China's National Health Commission announced that as of Tuesday evening, the total number of deaths caused by coronavirus had reached at least 490, and that more than 24,000 people have tested positive for the virus. It was an increase of at least 65 deaths and more than 3,000 new infections from the previous day, and was the most of either figure recorded in a single day. All the deaths reported on Tuesday came from Hubei province, where the outbreak is most serious. Amid ongoing efforts to contain the virus, China has finished building a new hospital in Wuhan. The first batch of coronavirus-infected patients arrived at the Hoshinshan Hospital on Tuesday. For the past week, Wuhan has been building 2 hospitals with thousands of beds for confirmed patients to help ease the shortage of beds in the city. The second hospital is set to be completed on Wednesday. Outside of China, more than 220 confirmed cases of the coronavirus have been reported in at least 25 countries and territories. There's also been 1 death from the virus in Hong Kong and 1 in the Philippines.
There's a breakdown for you guys that are kind of keeping score or whatever of what's going on. I'll let you just look at it. I'll stop here for a minute. The next part we're going to look at is they closed all their casinos. This is, okay, first of all, shutting down and locking up millions of people is one crazy thing. You tell me that is an apocalyptic kind of crap. Excuse my French. Bad words. I'll try to change it up. But when you shut down casinos, that's not just the, the government. That's the Chinese mafia kind of situation, guys. The government alone does not control those. There's kind of a unity there. Okay? Yeah. So, I mean, when the casinos go down, it's nuts.
Macau has closed down its casinos for at least 2 weeks. Just picture this. Imagine Las Vegas doing the same, and then magnify that a few times over, and you'll start to get a picture of the seriousness of this decision. That's just what happened in Macau, Asia's gambling capital, because of coronavirus fears. Tourists from mainland China really have plunged since the outbreak, and this is a body blow because a significant percentage of Macau's economy is linked to its casinos and their related activities. I'm happy to say I'm joined live on Skype by Macau-based journalist.
And this is serious, guys. This is what we were talking about, the money effect. One World Bank offering to make loans already to people before they call it a pandemic. Again, it's nuts. It's just nuts. And then you got the casinos closing. That's like unheard of. It's just unheard of, guys. Literally. A meteor could fall and hit somewhere over there and take out a city, for instance. And you wouldn't see the casinos closed except if the power was interrupted. Period. Okay, so there's This is some serious things going on, guys.
Jose Carlos.
Look at the streets.
Matias, who writes
Look at
a
this.
number of Macau and Portuguese publications and is the editor-in-chief.
This is like Vegas.
Former.
So look at no
Jose,
people.
I see you outside one of the shuttered casinos there. Just give us a sense of how massive a decision this was to suspend the operations of casinos. It's going to have huge ramifications for Macau, right?
Oh, yes, definitely. Good morning, Mark. Good morning, everybody. Yes, one should not underestimate, one should not downplay the massive impact that this move will have. Somehow one can say this was in the cards because over the past few days, several social groups were piling pressure on the government to make and to take this bold move of a casino shutdown. But it happened yesterday, as you mentioned.
That's like the Lexus, guys.
Another 2 cases.
That's just nuts to think that they're closing down that stuff.
The first 2 cases.
There goes the doors.
Actually, were not infected in mainland China, but here in Macau.
2 weeks.
And the government
maybe more, guys.
To
maybe
which,
more.
Actually, is unprecedented. A 2-week shutdown of the Macau casinos. We're talking about 41 gambling facilities, and we're talking about a huge impact because, as you rightly mentioned, this is Asia's Las Vegas, and more than 80% of the revenue collected by the government comes from taxes on gambling revenue. So we can also tell you that 1 out of 6 residents work in casinos, but this is only part of the story.
1 out of 6 people work there in that area. Not to mention, just the I keep going back to the financial thing of this. It's just unbelievable. Plus, they did it at the time. I would say probably a lowball estimate is during this holiday at that gambling area, they probably pulled 10% of their income. And that's low. Maybe more. So they lost 10%. I mean, that's like, I can't even guess how much money.
Because then you have many more people directly or indirectly dependent, reliant on the gambling industry. SMEs actually are already suffering. So we are facing a situation of a crisis here. The government is starting to roll out measures to assist families, subsidies, and also small businesses. But this is just the beginning, and we don't know how it will end.
And Jose, Macau has confirmed around 10 cases of the coronavirus so far, as you mentioned. It's a fair amount, but considering Macau's geographical proximity to mainland China, you might argue it's not that many. Were people there shocked when Macau's chief executive made this announcement on Tuesday? Was this something that was brewing or came...
And that's a really good point in case you didn't catch it. That first of all, they're not right next to Wuhan and stuff. And only 10. That's when we come back with these numbers, guys. Only 10. Catch my drift? Only 10 has been reported. To do this kind of thing, they're estimating a hell of a lot more than 10 people. Come on. We're all smarter than that. And we're probably looking at a hell of a lot more than 10 right now.
Concern the world over, but the World Health Organization has this message for us.
People had suddenly the impression that the virus was in the air, and everybody who go under this cloud of virus will be infected. So this is not the situation. Currently, the virus is transmitted through droplets, and you need a close contact to be.
Our favorite girl of the hour. Witchy Poo, the paid to lie to you girl from WHO. We got to watch this to see what he's trying to get the point to us.
No doubt the reaction to this virus has been considerable. The media, including the BBC, has given it extensive coverage. Many governments have acted decisively to restrict people arriving from China or bring their own people home. And today we had this update from the British Foreign Office saying it now recommends that British nationals who are able to leave China. So that is all British nationals in every part of China.
From the whole
Also, though, useful to put
country of
the
China.
scale of this crisis in perspective. We noticed the US health journalist Liz Szabo saying, look, there have been 425 deaths from coronavirus all over the world. Meanwhile, 10,000 Americans have died from the flu this season, and flu season hasn't even peaked. Now, worldwide, flu kills over 600,000 people a year. There are up to 5 million cases of it each year. You could compare that to the rough...
Okay, let's talk about the mutating effect real quick. Let's say influenza or another one, or the bird flu that's already back over there activating up. If you watch a couple of my videos ago, where they're disposing of the chickens and the duckies and the animals, and we know the pork was a few months ago, that's tied, that could very well cross over, and that's what we don't want, and that's what we're praying and hoping it does not do. But with this being out of a lab, again, a bioweapon that was engineered, whether it was engineered originally as a bioweapon or not, you know, these guys at CDC that play with this stuff, back when, a few years back when little Timmy from back east, who was dealt with this kind of stuff, mysteriously disappeared and left his clothes at home and tripped over his feet and fell in the river and drowned. Yeah, I think he was trying to warn us, guys, for this kind of exact thing that they're playing with, and they should not be playing with these things. So up in Canada, you know, once it got taken by the 2 Chinese people, made the pass off, got back to China. China monkeyed with it, 12 monkeys, just scenarios, guys, messed with it. Who knows what it is? And then you got people that are trying to make these kits and stuff. And I heard today they don't even know what. They're still trying to push this came from an animal. Okay, you can't tell me with all of our super knowledge and breaking down genomes and DNA and all this other stuff that somebody hasn't broke that down and doesn't know exactly where that is, exactly what those parts are, exactly if this did come from an animal, what kind of animal. And by them being silent, that's